Last Trumpet, the story of one young man's desperate struggle to believe the impossible and succeeds. It has been observed that one may go to any fundamentalist Christian revival meeting where exorcisms are being performed, and someone will vomit a demon into a paper bag if you ask them to, and often when you ask them not to. There's great power in covertly manipulating others from believing that the devil is out to get one, personally. Think of all the lively conversations one could have with others, with one the center of attention, as one relates how the devil caused one to do horrible things like horrors, masturbate, steal, or work on Sundays. Confrontations with the Devil by Robert W. Pelton, Pocket Books, 1979, pp. 126-127. It has also been observed that one may go to any UFO convention and someone will relate under hypnosis how they were abducted and implanted and screwed and poked and peeked and sampled. Try to get them to shut up. Just try and see if they will. Good luck. Flam Flam by James Randi. Prometheus Books, 1987, pp. 71-92. It is important to remember that one's religion must be held inviolate. One must be allowed to believe and practice religious forms of expression freely and without intervention, provided that such practices do not harm others. What's a little vomit between true believers, after all? As long as they use a bag and I don't have to clean up after them, fine. It is also important to realize that, real or not, the abduction phenomena is valid and real to those who have experienced them, as such experiences cause the individual a great deal of mental anguish in many cases, and a great deal of income in others. One should not scoff at the individuals who relate abduction stories. To scoff is paramount to laughing at the pain of hunger or loneliness. What's a few tears between abducted support group members, after all? As long as every member benefits and is not harmed, fine. But what about the true believer and the abducted who has made it one's calling to inform us how little we know about life, and that they are there to help us? Both have said that the common man, i.e. you and I, are not enlightened enough to understand. Consider the following. Already I have been referred to as a crackpot and also have been ridiculed. But I assure you, people will definitely understand in time. Their minds aren't yet trained to handle this sort of information. This tells us flat out that we are not capable of understanding the abduction phenomena, as our minds are not developed for, presumably, rational thought or observation. This is a ploy that religionists hysterics have used for 5,000 years, telling us that only through their intervention will we be able to understand the improbable, impossible, and mysterious. Sadly, millions buy into this. I do not. UFOs are definitely real, and are here for a purpose, says who. We were told beforehand that we are not able to understand, so therefore we must not question what was to follow. It was just left for us to believe, without proof or qualifications. The occupants of the guardians of humanity, the occasional appearances of these cosmic missionaries is living proof that we are not alone in the universe. Throughout time and history they have kept a watchful eye and have been always interested in the affairs of man. Sadly though, their existence has been concealed, ignored and ridiculed. It is only just recently that they have been alarmed by the dangerous turn of events on Earth. I can no more argue against humanity requiring guardians than I can argue that falling trees are soundless if unobserved. We are told that living proof is offered us, but alas, I guess I'm just not mentally developed enough, as I think the above quote is pure hog slop. Where were these guardians when we butchered 50 million humans, almost 1 million a year, during the Second World War? Was this horror below the guardians' intervention level? Or is it my poorly developed brain that assumes that 50 million murders is small potatoes, cosmically speaking? Several reasons are given us as to why these guardians have come now and not in the past. We are not taking care of ourselves environmentally and spiritually. I submit that if we take care of our environment, a great many of our problems will be eased. Why throw spirituality into the pot? If one does, the question then becomes, whose spirituality did you have in mind for us to emulate? This ties in with it you are capable of understanding, so I'll think for you, crap. They're dissatisfied with contemporary social and economic injustices. Who has not been masses speaking over the past 5,000 years? Religion has been twisted and turned into fanaticism, such as equating UFOs to guardians. Perhaps, as the guardians of mankind, they can only condemn our actions. But they realize that a wasted evolution and an inescapable cataclysm will be the final consequence of our inhuman behavior. A hearty disagree here. Why is it assumed that the human race is destined to destruction? Or is this something us lesser mentality folks can't understand? Civilizations have always come and gone, and so will the present ones. With better understanding of our international neighbors, the extinction of the species can be prevented. It will hardly be easy, but it is by no means definite that we will destroy ourselves. And now the waste material really hits the ventilation duct. What does this all mean? As prophesied in the Bible, on Judgment Day, Christ will descend from the heavens in a cloud with great power and glory, and will reveal himself to all the tribes of the earth. Luke chapter 21 verse 28. Also foreseen is the fateful course we are presently taking. The heavens shall pass away with a great noise, the elements shall melt with a fervent heat, and the earth, and also the works therein shall be burned up. Peter chapter 3 verses 10 to 14. In the Old Testament, there are 30 references to Christ's first coming. In the New Testament, there are 50 specific references to Christ's second coming. I also stress that the earth is not following a path towards complete annihilation, as in it blowing itself to pieces. Our planet will stay intact, and it will enter a new age, a transition, for all that is left. The people who gave us the Christ myths are still waiting for the first coming, but Mr. Obino would have us believe that it has come and gone already. Kabbalists generally agree that the Christ will come sometime around 2200–2300 CE. Coincidentally, at the same time the Aquarian Age roughly starts. Why throw Messiah myths into the UFO picture? One is served by using allegory to support one's reality structure. Our planet's destiny can only be decided by mankind's actions. This is self-evident. It also makes one wonder, though, since this is the case, where do the guardians come into the picture? If our destiny is for us to decide, who needs guardians? I have read many versions of the catastrophic events leading up to Judgment Day, and also what will actually happen on Judgment Day. Everything from a nuclear war to an axis shift to a mass suicide by those who cannot accept the facts. Do we really know the truth? Only they know. This supposes that Judgment Day is a fact, and not allegory as it was originally meant to be. It also supposes that what has been written about future events will happen, which has never in history been demonstrated. The massive volumes written about the end of the world are usually considered to be active meditations, like various midrashim as Alpha Beta Benzira, and were not meant to be taken as attempts at fortune-telling. In the near future, an important event that no human mind should be uninformed about will take place. It will come unexpectedly at a time of great need. There will be no need to ask why or how, because all questions will be answered and all doubts will be laid to rest. Look forward to this event, and do not fear it, because soon all will awaken and realize that fiction will become fact. Unfortunately, there are also those human minds that are very disinformed. Ben Nobina tells us that no human minds should be uninformed about what will take place. Has there ever been a time where a human mind has been so informed about future events that can still go in any of many directions? Fiction has often become fact, but hardly all. Those who do not understand do not want to know. The truth is disturbing and will make one feel skeptical, but if understood with an open mind, it can and must be accepted. When the time comes, my purpose is to assist and to let the people know and understand. I am just one of the many thousands around the world who have been randomly selected to slowly prepare the people and to gradually spread the message. We are all part of a worldwide program of psychological conditioning before and when this moment arrives. I do not understand, and I very much want to know. What does this do to Mr. Obina's theory? Or is this more, you're too stupid to understand, crap? Space beings are the guardians of humanity. They are the messengers of the ultimate creator. Human beings are the guardians of humanity. We're the messengers of the ultimate creator, being one of her creations. Traces of the being's basic message can be found in the Bible passages relating to Judgment Day. Despite the fact they are written in vague and symbolic terms, notice how the people are to be judged. Notice how the believers of God's word are to be raised from the dead. Notice what is meant when the Bible mentions the home of the saved. Is it purely coincidental that most contactees have similar thoughts of permanent relocation and a different earth within the next 10 years? In reference to Judgment Day, the Bible often implies the word rapture. The actual word is not found in the Bible because sometimes Christians have a tendency to toss out misunderstood words which have no meaning to the non-Christian. I suggest that you look up the word in the dictionary. You will be astonished at its meaning and how it ties in with the being's basic message. I am often astonished how one will use a hammer to drive in screws, a job that the hammer was not made to do. Why use the Bible to drive mythological screws into the real world? If you are shaking your head over this right now, please remember how many impossibles you have said in your lifetime. Or how many impossibles men throughout the ages have said to many things God has revealed through his spokesman. And yet they were possible because nothing is impossible for God. God is yet to reveal anything through spokesman. All that's required to know her is to look around. When someone opens his mouth and spews out, "God told me to tell you," is when the impossible is forced into the mold of the irrationality. I could tell you how their ships travel through space, how they tie in with religion and the Bible, how they tie in with the destruction of previous civilizations that once flourished on Earth, how they tie in with ancient mythology, etc., etc., but I won't. I already revealed to you what one only need to know how they will influence the future. Those questions and others will be definitely answered very soon, highly likely within our own lifetime. I have absolutely no doubts that Mr. Obina can. Whether this so-called catastrophe is physical, natural, or spiritual, I know two things for certain. An event of great importance to mankind will occur prior to Judgment Day. An event that will enlighten us about the nature of our existence. An event that will signify that mankind is entering a new age, a transition, perhaps the end, a qualifier. Now when the alleged catastrophe fails to materialize, Mr. Obina can claim it happened on some astral plane. In a moment, in a twinkling of the eye, at the last trumpet, the last trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable. And we shall all be changed. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 52 NASB. The world of fools has such a store, that he who would not see and ask must find it home, and boot his door, and break his looking glass. Lamani, which of the two quotes about Mr. Obina's or mine is true? Question mark. In the near future, an event that no human mind should be uninformed about will take place. There will be no need to ask why or how, because all questions will be answered. Space beings have always lived on Earth. They have been among us since the dawn of civilization. Occasional appearances in the skies prove that we are constantly visited by beings from other worlds. Throughout the ages, Certain races have chosen to take on human form in order to monitor the development of mankind. As humans, they live normal lives until they reach adulthood. That's when their true being is eventually revealed, which they have kept to themselves for obvious reasons. It was one of these beings who disclosed the following information to me. The pieces of the puzzle now slipped into place. Whether these beings visit us from the skies or have been living on Earth, their intentions and the message they bring has been basically the same. Mankind is entering its last days. They will be prepared to assist when the time comes. The meaning behind our visitors' secret activities now becomes clear. What is a contactee? Why have people been abducted at an unprecedented rate? These beings are and have been gradually selecting people for a definite purpose sometime in the near future. All contactees are systematically chosen because of certain qualities they possess. A small portion of all contactees have had minor close encounter experiences, but the majority are subjects of implantation. These people have a microscopic implant surgically inserted into their brain. This 3mm sphere contains a storehouse of knowledge. The main purpose will be to use this information to teach and to raise mankind's awareness. Also, to inform and to gain the people's acceptance. It is like comparing it to a locked drawer. Once the drawer is unlocked, the knowledge will become like second nature. All contactees will have a sudden interest in an area that they never had previously. During the screening process, these beings sought out individuals of strong character and who would have the potential to develop it to a firm believer. There are about 3 million people across the world who have been implanted. Only a small percentage actually remember being physically examined. Most are unaware of their experience. All will definitely become aware when the formation is to occur. The formation is the global event that will release the information contained in the implants. It is the key that will unlock the drawer. All of the chosen around the world will be simultaneously gathered and transported to certain areas. Each has a designated person or guardian who has been watching over them. Some may have the task of monitoring several contactees. It will be this acquaintance who will notify the contactee in advance of what is to take place. Others who have had close encounter experiences will be given the choice whether or not they wish to gain the knowledge. It was for this reason that they were not implanted. It is also expected that many will choose not to take part in the formation at the last moment, mainly because of personal commitments. What the contactee decides to do with the knowledge afterwards is up to him or her. There are many routes one can take, such as giving lectures, teaching the poor, or generally spreading the word. It's all up to the contactee. All are part of a worldwide program of psychological conditioning in order to gradually spread the message and to slowly prepare the people. The formation is an actual event that will take place very soon. My intentions are to inform. That's why I ask that you accept this with an open heart and with an open mind. It's not important that you believe this now, but to file it away for future reference. In a year, perhaps two, when the truth finally becomes known, you will look back on this and realize that it was indeed actual fact. The angel said, "Do no harm the earth, the sea, or the trees until we mark the servants of our God with a seal on their foreheads." And I was told the number with God's seal on their foreheads. It was 144,000. They are the predestined. Revelation chapter 7 verses 3 to 5.